Welcome to our channel where we update the most attractive, dramatic and hottest stories about the young and the restless. Join us to explore the shocking secrets, dark conspiracies and never-before-revealed shocks in the underworld of Genoa City. If you are a fan of thrilling plots, endless dramas and calculating mind games, don't forget to follow and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any files. Victor stood still in the library, the place where he used to find peace amidst the fierce calculations of life. But this time, that peace did not bring him the familiar control, but a terrifying void, where reason was suffocated by the harsh truth that had just been revealed. An anonymous DNA test, delivered to him by an unknown source, reveals a secret he never dreamed possible. Adam is not his biological son, but the product of a forbidden affair between Hope and Aristotle, a man Victor has always seen as a symbol of intrigue and betrayal. No one knows Aristotle like Victor. They were sworn enemies in a power struggle decades ago. Although Aristotle later disappeared from the financial world after a series of scandals, Victor has never forgotten how he almost stole everything Victor built. And now, the thought that Aristotle's blood flows through the veins of the son he fought so hard to love, Adam, makes Victor almost lose control. The feeling of being betrayed by the past, by the woman he once cherished, and by the truth that he could not have imagined, ripped the heart of a man who had always thought himself invincible. Meanwhile, Adam was still immersed in a mixed feeling between trying to fix the mistakes with Sally and the never-ending internal struggle between good and evil. Little did he know that his existence had just led Victor into a new spiral of revenge. Victor could not accept the fact that all the sacrifices, all the calculations to bring Adam back to his side, were ultimately wasted on a child who did not carry the Newman bloodline. From here, a plan for revenge was silently formed. Victor began to follow Adam's every step with the eyes no longer of a father, but of a cold strategist planning to eliminate a potential threat. He secretly has his men investigate Aristotle's entire personal history, unearthing forgotten connections, delving into Adam's every weakness, with the intention of burying that past once and for all. However, what Victor doesn't expect is that Aristotle is not dead. After years of seclusion in Europe, this man suddenly reappears in Genoa City. He brings with him an elaborate revenge plan and the ambition to dominate the American financial industry that Victor once ousted him from. Aristotle does not come alone. He brings with him a mysterious woman, tan skin, eyes as cold as the Mediterranean wind. He introduces himself as his only daughter Aria, and also the person who holds the secrets that can sink not only Victor, but also the entire Newman Group. The first encounter between Victor and Aristotle took place at an art auction that Nikki organized. No one expected that behind the bright lights and laughter of drinking was a silent war between the two most powerful men who had ever entered each other's lives. Without words, the look between them was enough to convey hatred, contempt and calculation. Aristotle approached and whispered in Victor's ear, "You cannot erase me from your history. My son Adam will be the weapon I use to tear apart your empire." Meanwhile, Adam unexpectedly received an anonymous email with the content, "You should know who your biological father is." At first, he thought it was just a psychological game. But when Adam secretly conducted a DNA test on a hair sample from Victor and the results confirmed what the email implied, his world collapsed. Adam had suspected that he was not connected to Victor, but he never imagined that his flesh and blood belonged to someone else, someone he had never met, but was now at the center of a bloody battle. Without Victor to rely on, Adam became more dangerous than ever. The feeling of betrayal not only drove him away from everyone, but also urged him to seek answers from Aristotle. On a rainy night, Adam arrived at Aristotle's villa. The first conversation between father and son was not one of intimacy, but a confrontation of two survival instincts. Aristotle, with a cold smile, welcomed Adam as a new strategic card. While Adam, with a confused mind, could not yet determine whether he was on the right track or sinking deeper into the quagmire of schemes more sinister than Victor. At the same time, Nick begins to suspect Victor's change in behavior and conducts his own investigation. The scattered clues gradually coalesce into a fractured picture. Victor is playing a game of chess that he doesn't want anyone to see the board. When Nick discovers the truth about Adam's DNA, he is torn between his duty to protect his family and the need to reveal the truth. But when he confronts Victor, he only responds with one question: "If you were me, what would you do if you discovered your enemy disguised as your son?" Arya suddenly approaches Adam, using her beauty and sharp intellect to control his mind, sowing doubt and gradually pushing him into Aristotle's orbit. The Newman Group begins to face financial crisis, a series of unusual transactions, failed mergers, and a plummeting stock price. It was all like a piece of music orchestrated by an invisible conductor, someone Victor knew better than anyone, Aristotle. At this point, Nikki, who had always been by Victor's side in every battle, was forced to face Victor at his weakest, not because he was afraid of losing money, but because he was afraid of losing the father figure he had tried so hard to preserve. She whispered in tears, "Perhaps, the scariest thing is not losing a child, but realizing that you never had one." In the dark, the battle for legacy, power and status is gradually turning into a moral battle, where the truth does not free anyone, but only makes everyone sink deeper into suffering and hatred. Everyone is waiting for the next developments with unprecedented shocks, spectacular reversals and the darkest conspiracies. Stay tuned with us so you don't miss any of the exciting details in the battle between the dark forces and the powerful in Genoa City. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to the channel to update the hottest news about the young and the restless.